Hi, I'm Johnny Moran.
And I'm Tara Nelson.
And this is What We're Watching. Tara got to watch the premiere of a new series, Breakthrough, The Ideas That Changed the World. And the first episode is on the telescope, which is really weird timing because NASA just put out this picture of the black hole for the first time.
Yeah, did you see the picture?
Yeah, it's blurry, but it's good. It's a picture of a black hole.
You know, it's funny. I was like, wow, but you look through the comments and everyone's like, oh, it kind of looks like a donut. Well, if you were unimpressed, you have to check out this program because it really gives you the full background. And I mean, the history starts at 4000 BC. Talking about how cavemen would use their own rock formations to try to track the stars, and that's where we really started to learn about the universe.
So how does it go from 4000 BC rock formations and stars to a picture of the first black hole?
It's really cool the way that they show this because a lot of it were accidents or just curious people learning how things work. There were different elements that came into play. So you've got glass lenses, and you get to see where the first spectacles were seen, and through the eyes of these historians. So they're not just telling you this information, they're really beautifully showing it to you through animations that start with whatever artifacts these historians learned this information through, which I thought was really cool. So a lot of accidents, a lot of curious thinkers, and then you have these incredible minds and these specialists, like past and present. You get to hear from photographers, glass workers, historians, and then you get to see, the scientists and the mathematicians that made these developments. And it's really cool to hear these people talk because they're so passionate about what they do and they are so excited about these achievements, and it's really contagious.
Yeah, I can't even remember to get my contact lens prescription updated, and people are out there inventing the telescope.
Right. But it is really cool to see that a lot of it was just kind of stumbled upon. It wasn't always, not every step was some great scientist.
Right.
A lot of it was just a curious mind.
So talk about that. What's one of the accidents that happened that kind of evolved with this technology?
Yeah, sure. Well, one of them was a mercury spill that happened when they were trying to capture the first photograph. So
love a good mercury spill. Great things always come from mercury spills.
So they were showing how this photographer a long time ago was trying to take a photo of a street in Paris, and he would have to leave the film for hours to get one picture. But he found that through mercury and through a bunch of other processes and tests, a way to capture an image within 10 minutes, and obviously that's progressed. It's fascinating to see how we're these tiny humans on this tiny planet in this one corner of the universe, but somehow we've been able to learn so much and create these tools that can give us all of this knowledge that, who could have predicted that we'd now have, images of black hole.
Right. Now, obviously, this was made before, this news came out of the black hole photo. So where were they kind of at the end of this, as far as looking out into space?
Right. So they go through, they talk about the Hubble telescope, which we're familiar with. And they show some of the images and the knowledge that we've gotten from that. And then they show like an animation of the latest space telescope that's there. And they actually show some images of what they've been able to capture. And it's really endless. I mean, galaxies and universes that, it's infinite.
Right.
They basically leave off by saying, here's our latest, and we have not found a limit to what we can find with this camera.
Don't miss Breakthrough, The Ideas That Changed the World, Wednesday at 10 p.m. What else are you looking forward to this week?
So I got to watch a preview of the FRONTLINE episode that's going to air this week, called Marcos Doesn't Live Here Anymore, which is also timely, and it follows Elizabeth Perez. She's a decorated Marine veteran. She served in Afghanistan, and her husband was deported in 2010. So it follows her trying to get her husband back to the country. She's raising 2 young children on her own, and it basically follows her struggle and her efforts to get him back in the country. And what I think is so important about this piece and why I'm looking forward to watching it is there's nothing simple or siloed about it. You know, we hear a lot in politics today that's, you know, one-sided or the other-sided, and I think this is a really great way to say, you know, politics aside, here's a human experience, and it's complicated. It's not simple. You know, you can look at it through a million different ways, but at the end of the day, I think we're all going to be rooting for Elizabeth.
You can watch Frontline, Marcos Doesn't Live Here Anymore, Monday at 9 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.